Hello, music producers, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips to help improve your hi-hat and make them sound more interesting. And for this tutorial, I'm going to be focusing more on hip hop and trap styles of music because, as you know, different genres of music have different patterns in which they use their hi-hats. All right, so for tip number one, we have add variety to your timing. Now, most of us, when adding hi-hats, a quick way to do that is just to go ahead and fill each 2 steps right here, and then you just have this going on. And now, one thing you should know is that this right here is actually not a bad way of making a beat. It's actually not the wrong way. Like there are so many popular and great musics that just have this hi-hat pattern in their beats, and those songs are hits. So this is not actually the wrong way of making music. This is not a bad way of doing things. These tips are just to help make your beat just sound more interesting and just add that little bit of vibe to your beat. Okay, so very quick way to add variety to your timing is just add some notes in between. Like you can just go ahead and play with the notes. And a good way is to go ahead and divide. Snap use this snap option right here. So you can go over to the 1/4 of a beat, and then you can now begin to add notes in between right here. And another quick shortcut is you can actually highlight that note by holding down Control, and you can do that by holding down Control and moving your mouse. You can highlight the note, then press Control L. What it does is that it extends that particular note to the beginning of the note that comes after it. And then what you can do from here is actually press Alt U on the keyboard, and it brings up this chopper option. And this is actually a very good tool, especially for hi-hats, because it just makes our work easier. As you can see, if I keep down up, it just divides that particular note into different sections. So you have 2 right here, you can divide it into 2. You can go ahead to divide it into 4. I'm going to leave this at 4 for now. Press accept to accept it. And you can also do the same to this one. Control L, Alt U. And I'm going to go for 8 for this. All right, then I accept this right here. All right, so this is a very, very good way. Another thing is you can actually use thirds. And this is just like, instead of having them 4 on each note, you can actually have 3 on each note, and it actually sounds very nice. So a very good way to do this is you go back to that snap option. You can go over to 1/3 of a beat, and let's add that to the end of the beat right here. So you can see divided into 3 boxes, and that is that. All right, so let's go ahead and have a listen to what we have going on here. All right, so you can see just this simple timing changes we made that actually made them more interesting. So for tip number 2, we're going to be playing with the pitch. All right, so aside timing, we also have pitch, because you can also play with the pitch, and you can just take some few notes down, some semitones down. That is just it. You can just go ahead and take some semitones. Go ahead and take some notes down, and just take a few notes up. All right. And another thing you can do is you can also go ahead to the controls right here, and then you can see we have note find pitch, and you can also go ahead and automate some of the pitches to gradually go up. All right, or you can actually automate them to go down. All right. So for tip number 3, we have adding variety to your panning. So a quick way to achieve this is also going back to our control panel right here, and note pan. As you can see, we have note pan, and then you press Alt R on your keyboard, and then it brings up the randomizer. And always make sure to turn off pattern selection, because if you turn it on, it affects the notes and just scatters everything everywhere. So we want to only affect the levels. All right, and sometimes you might have this dials up, but you don't want to really affect this for now. So a quick way to reset values is just hold down Alt and click on the knob. It just resets down everything back to 0. All right, so this is the what we want to affect here, the panning. So you can just dial the just turn it to the right, and as you can see, the more you turn it to the right, the more it expands between the left and the right channels. Always be sure to turn on bipolar right here, all right, so that it turns to the left and right. If you turn it off, it only affects one channel, but if you turn it on, it affects the both channels. Okay, and then up is for right, the right channel, while down is for the left channel. So you can always go ahead and switch between this side and this side. It's just opposite of each other. And you can also use this seed to change the values of the randomness. You can also use this seed right here to change the randomness. Okay, so you can go just keep changing it and just find what suits you best. All right, so that is that. Then when you're done, you can accept it. And also, like I said, like we did for the pitch, you can also go here and also affect the pitch individually. And what I usually do is that for all these quick sections, this ones we have right here, I usually like to actually pitch them a bit up, like automatically. Just sometimes I might want to switch them, sorry, pan them, for them to just like sweep between the left and the right. Okay, and I do this by holding down right click and moving through that. If I'm to hold down left click, what I do is that I can just individually draw them. Okay, but when I hold down right click, there is this, it's actually tries to make actually tries to make it straight. All right, so that is that. Then I can go ahead and just individually move this to like this, just to add variety to the panning. All right, so let's see what we have going on right now. All right, so you can see just this subtle differences here and there. I just spicing up the whole hi-hat and just making it sweeter to listen to. All right, then the tip number 4, we have automating the volumes, working on the volumes and just affecting the whole volume of the hi-hat. And you can do that by affecting the velocity. So we are not actually going to be affecting the vein volume in the channel right here. We're going to be working right here in the piano roll, and we're going to do that with affecting the note velocity. So as you can see, everything right here is just straight up. So you can also do the same thing as we did with the panning, affect the randomizer. Let's take this down to 0 and just affect the velocity. Just a very subtle difference. Okay. Then another thing that you can do is also, like I said, like we did for the panning, for these quick sections, you can also go ahead and just pan them up a bit. This just makes them sound a whole lot interesting, believe me. All right. Then you can also, in all these quick sections, just duck down the ones in between, let them act as like ghost notes. All right. Okay. So you can just do that and just play along with all these things and just add a bit of variety to the whole hi-hat. Okay, so and lastly, the tip number 5 is actually using open hi-hat. So mostly we actually add open hi-hats before the clap, and that is like the best place to add them. That is what people mostly use, but you can always find a better way to use them. But majorly they're just mostly used and they just appear and come in before the snap or the snare or all those kind of things. So as you can see in this drum sample, we have a clap and we also have a snare. And I want to go ahead and add two to go ahead and create two hi-hat samples. So we have one pan to the left and one pan to the right. Okay, so we have each of them comes in before the clap. One comes in before the clap, another one comes in before the snare. Okay, so let me solo them so that you can really hear what is going on there. All right, so altogether I just add this kind of feel and vibe to the whole hi-hat sample. So altogether this is what we have going on. So as you can see with these 5 tips, we've actually taken that simple basic hi-hat to something that sounds really amazing. And one thing you should know is that you shouldn't overdo distance. Like just add simple and be very subtle with them. Don't overdo them and just put them all around the whole place. If not, they'll become they'll become bad. That is just it. Yes, you can always go crazy, but let your crazy be tamed. Try and tame your craziness a bit, and always just make sure it sounds good. That is just the basic thing. As long as it sounds good, it is good. Alright guys, so that'll be it for this video. Please, if you like the video, do hit the like button, subscribe to this channel and enable notifications so that you get notified when I upload new content and videos just like this for you. Till we meet again guys, stay safe and see you in the next one.